Their happiness and self-confidence just seemed amazing to me, considering the conditions.
There are 10 bags of coffee on that truck, each weighing about 40-50 kilos, and you have 1 or 2 people on top. Just to, when they come across a situation like this, you have people there to assist.
This Arabica coffee, the best in the world, arrives in Goroka from the Highlands on some of the roughest roads I've ever been on.
They put their coffee on scale and then they get the weight and work out how many parchment dry coffee is in the bag.
The white bag is full of coffee beans?
Yeah, full of coffee beans, dry coffee beans. The sub-object on his hands is the stuff that they pour it into, shove it into the bag and bring in his hands. You want him to do a demo on the side of the bag? Are you rubbing below? Rub it against it, then see.
And this tells him?
Is it number 1 or number 2 or number 3 grade? Number 1 gets a better price. Get the scale, weight, do his calculation. Now he's doing his calculation to see how much he can pay for that owner of the coffee. So that bag is 35 kilo, huh?
112 kilo.
Oh, 100, that's 112 kilo.
Oh, that's about $50 then.
Yeah, that's $50 US dollars, you see. You see, there's several scales and people choices. Whichever offers them the good price, they go for that.
Akesa, would you explain this to me?
Okay, this is smallholders farmers. They bring in the cherry coffee. They put it into this company here. They get it weighed out, and the farm here issues them a receipt. They go in here, and then it's a gravity feed with water. It comes out there, some disc at the back.
And then it goes outside.
Yeah, it removes the pulp, the skin outside. The outside there, it's dried on the canvas.
How long does that take?
It takes over 4 or 5 days, depending on the weather. If the weather is too good to dry weather, it takes about 3 or 4 days. These are fermenting boxes.
And this removes the skin from the cherry.
From the cherries. So they bring in stuff like this, they put it into here, and the disc at the back, those 2 discs at the back, remove the skins like this. Remove the skins, and the skin goes separate, and it becomes rubbish. And this stuff goes into the fermenting box, and it stays for overnight. And the greasy stuff comes out in the fermenting box.
It's all moved from up there by water down here. It's pumped out by water and gravity.
And then it's solar dried.
Solar dried, sun dried. Takes about 3 to 4 days in good weather.
And then it's
brought to this bin here. That's
okay.
That conveyor will take it inside the factory.
According to law, they're not allowed to put solids back in the river, so the coffee husks are used here, stored for fertilizer.
That's right.
And very good fertilizer.
Coffee husk.
These are the coffee husks that have accumulated over the last 3 months, and they just can't burn enough of it. So
very itchy.
This very light material can be used possibly in some building material. Here's one of the classic problems. The only thing left that's unusable and it'll have to be burned creates a lot of smoke If anybody can come up with a solution, this is free fuel.
Right, these are called pan dryers. They're heated by coffee husk, which is blown in. They hold about 5 tonne each, and the arm's agitated to turn the coffee over to dry.
And the burner over there burns the coffee.
That's burning coffee husk, yeah. Waste.
That creates the heat.
That's the heat.
To dry it.
To dry it.
Goes to the
destoner. That takes any stones out of it.
Okay.
A gravity separator. Heavy beams come one side. Come out this side.
This loaded onto trucks, down to lay.
Down to lay.
And lay is the port of exit.
Lay is the port of exit, yes.
I think these fellas like the idea of a little video.
Oh, yeah.
That's the smile of Papua New Guinea.
Probably one will get.
Utula Samana, Secretary of Agriculture for the country, is highly educated, experienced, and dedicated to the people and food resources of Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, to the UN.
To the UN?
Papua New Guinea Ambassador to the United Nations.
United Nations?
Yes. And before that I was head of the Department of Agriculture. Okay. Before that I was a member of my state in the National Parliament. And I held 3 ministries: Ministry for Agriculture, Ministry for Public Service, and Education. And then before that I was governor of the most popular province in Papua New Guinea, the Morobe province.
Morobe province.
Yes. For 7.5 years. Papua New Guinea has come a long way. We have a number of problems. Some of those problems does affect our institutions, political stability, as well as the ability of the country to move forward in a global environment, competitive environment. But we have come quite a long way in the space of, say, 30 years and 25 years since independence. And people of Papua New Guinea don't realize that we have achieved quite a lot. We always talk about problems, and much of the problems is exaggerated by media. And those media is controlled, of course, by foreign media, and in particular our close neighbor, the Australian media. They have I would say, in a way, sometimes biased opinion of what happens in Papua New Guinea. But there is a lot of potential, and we have progressed quite a degree. We have a country that consists of over 900 different linguistic groups and thousands of ethnicities. But over the last 25 years since independence, we have learned to live as one people, under one flag, and under one country, and we believe in one God. And I think that's the source of our strength. And we have a long way to go, and we have a lot of potentials. Papua New Guinea is regarded as one of the oldest agricultural civilizations. People don't know about this. Our ancestors have been living here for the last 60,000 years, and agricultural practice began here 30,000 years ago. So it puts Papua New Guinea amongst the oldest agricultural societies in the world. The only problem is that technology never developed with that civilization. Technology remained digging sticks and stone axes. So now in the modern age, we have to acquire technology and make effective use of those technologies to develop the various sectors, of which agriculture is still a fundamental activity of most of our people. 75% of our people live in the rural villages, and they own 97% of the land, which means that any industry, whether it's agriculture, industrial, forestry, whatever,